Yes, I've been taking a look at way too many Yeezys lately, but when it comes to the things that I appreciate in sneakers and the sneakers that I actually wear, it's really all that's dropping lately. You know, there's a few Ultra Boosts that have dropped that I've wanted, but have been region exclusive to Asia. A lot of the Chinese New Year and like they're calling like the DNA pack and all that stuff. I'm trying, I just can't seem to get a hold of them. So until then, we're just gonna keep taking a look at the things we can get. And right now, Yeezys are kind of easy to get. So today, like the title says, taking a look at the not so hyped Yeezreel non-reflectives, another 350 V2 colorway. I haven't really examined them yet, so it'll be my first time taking a look, and I'm sure a lot of you have already seen them, if not gotten your pair. But for those of you who haven't, let's open them up and break them down. I never picked up the original, what were they called? The glow in the dark, very similar colorway, came out last year sometime, or earlier, 2019 rather, and I just wasn't really snagging a whole lot at the time. Don't necessarily regret it. I like this pair. I think it's a dope pair. I think the colorway is not crazy bright. I mean, it's a ridiculous colorway in the grand scheme of things, but you know, as far as all the bright, gaudy, outlandish colorways that are dropping in all different silhouettes, I don't mind this pair. So let's start with the upper. Obviously, full prime knit, the whole thing. We've gone through a V2 countless times, and not a whole lot has changed when it comes to the V2. On this pair, you've got the translucent prime knit stripe, once again, revealing the padding and whatnot that's right beneath that stripe. Stripe is only on the lateral portion. The medial and the rest of the shoe just features an array of pattern and whatnot. Back to the lateral side though, once again, you do have that stripe. You've got pattern running on that prime knit beneath it. Base color is obviously a green, almost a greenish yellow throughout. Peppers and crisscrosses and waffling of black all woven throughout the upper and the prime knit area. Center stitching runs up from the top of the toe box all the way to the tip top of the tongue area, or where the tongue would be. Also runs down the complete back panel of the shoe, and that's how the shoe's been stitched up since the beginning of the 350, both the V2s and the original V1s. The threading used on that center stitch is it's a green, a lot brighter green than the rest of the shoe, except for the liner, and we'll hop back to the liner while we're talking about it. You've got the brightest of all the yellows and greens that are on the shoe, in my opinion, runs on the liner and then the inner lining of the shoe. You've got the 3-stripe branding running up the back panel right there. Fairly typical for a 350. Laces, in my opinion, pretty damn cool. So you've got almost a aqua bluish, not necessarily a baby blue, but a greenish blue aqua color for the laces, and they are your standard rope laces. Heading back to the back panel one more time, you've got a green yellow pull strap. Features the dotting that we see on pretty much every Yeezy pull strap. In this case, you've got almost an orange dotting across there. We see a lot of reds, a lot of blacks. I don't necessarily know that we've ever seen that orange right there. It's honestly wild how the colorways come to be with these. It's kind of getting, I don't know if it's Kanye's influence that kind of just makes us feel like everything works, but it just feels like it works sometimes, you know? Like, who would have thought, hey, instead of doing the red or the black on the pull strap back here, let's throw orange, and then let's hit them with some aqua colored laces, and it'll just work, you know? And who knows if it would have looked better with other laces. I typically think, you know, why not these days? Why not throw a pair of crazy ass laces on there and hit us with some wild colors and color schemes? So pretty dope, you know. I'm not mad at this colorway at all, and I know some of you are like, that's a shitty shoe, it sucks, I'm not with it. I like it, you know, and that's just my opinion. Like what you like. I always tell you that. Wear what you like and don't follow the hype. I'm not saying that the Yeezy isn't a hype shoe altogether. It is, and you know, we've all followed suit. There are some colorways that sell out and some that don't, and this was one that didn't initially. I think they're gone now, but I like it. I'm glad I was able to cop one more time. I just had to touch on that one more time. Pull out the insole, white insole. Not really a fan of white insoles just because they get filthy, especially if you walk on your socks or something and then you stick your foot back in here, it's gonna get stained. But typical Adidas Yeezy branding right there. Now heading down to the midsole, outsole portion of the shoe, you've got a 3-piece construction for those of you who are very unfamiliar familiar with the shoe, this little piece right here on the tip of the toe cap runs all the way down on the outsole and connects back here on the midsole portion of the shoe, and that's one single piece. And then the remaining two pieces are what make up the midsole. One runs along the medial side, obviously the other runs along the lateral portion of the shoe. In this case, and with a lot of other 350s, the outsole portion is a slightly different hue or color than the midsole portions. I don't necessarily have an opinion like that. I kind of like it. I think it's a cool contrast, and it does keep a lot of the factories who run fakes and replicas on their feet, because they just assume that they see the first iteration and that's how the retail version is going to be, but a lot of times that's not the case. So I like anything that can throw off those guys from doing their job correctly. Obviously the outsole portion of the shoe is a different color than the midsole, like we already talked on. It's more of a green rather than a yellow. Some of you know, some of you don't. The majority of you probably do. This is a Boost sneaker, same Boost that's featured in Ultra Boost and every other Boost sneaker. You can see the Boost right here below the heel portion of the shoe and that opening right there, and then as well in all these slits right here in the beneath the forefoot of the shoe. I know that's a given. Some people don't know though, so it's worth mentioning in my opinion. And as for the Yeezreel breakdown, that pretty much does it. Not a whole lot is different as far as the construction and the entire makeup. It's a V2 through and through. I like the colorway. I like the laces. I like the orange hits on the pull strap. Overall, colorway is not too crazy. I wasn't necessarily sure if I was going to keep these, but I might. As far as pricing goes, $220 USD, pretty much the gold standard when it comes to a 350 V2. I don't expect that to change. That's how it's been since the V1s, and every single V2 that has dropped been right at that same price point. As far as comfort goes, again, it's a Yeezy. Some argue that Yeezys are of the most comfortable sneakers out there. I prefer an Ultra Boost, but these aren't uncomfortable. My issue is that when it comes to sizing, they're just all over the place. I don't know what the issue is, but they can't seem to get sizing right. As far as comfort goes, however, it's a very comfortable shoe, assuming you do hit your sizing correctly. I did throw these on feet real quick, and true to size seems to be okay. If you find that your foot is squished up front, or that your toes are kind of bulging into the front of the shoe, just pull the insole out. In my opinion, the shoe is just as comfortable without an insole because of the Boost midsole. You're able to pull that insole out, or that sock liner out, as some people refer to it as, and your foot's sitting right directly on the Boost material, and it's very comfortable, very wearable, and like I said, you won't really notice a whole lot of difference. So if you're really worried about it, go a half size up. From my experience, when it comes to Yeezys, especially the 350, it'll never really hurt you to go a half size up. You know, a half size down is gonna definitely cramp your foot and make it very uncomfortable the majority of the time. In this case, a half size up, like most V2s, will be just fine. So if you have a wide foot, a thick foot, a fat foot, it's not a big deal. Just do your thing, go a half size up, and that'll probably do it for you. As far as the resale on these, they're not going for much over retail. If you really want a pair and you're not able to find them anywhere in retail stores or anywhere on the sites, I know some Foot Lockers and Foot Actions actually still had them in store. So if you're near like a location that drops a lot of the hype releases and stuff like that, check your store first, talk to the people there, make a friend, let them know that you're interested, and a lot of times you'll be able to snag these, you know, when they're sitting on the shelves, or other colorways that aren't necessarily ridiculously overhyped. But I think you'll still be able to find these in some places, and if not, just try GOAT. If you have to, try StockX. eBay is a great place right now. Still a big issue with fakes and frauds and replicas. Do your research and your due diligence, and you shouldn't have too many issues. So that's my opinion on picking these up for resale and in the aftermarket. Just make sure to cover your own butt if you do decide to take that route, however. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the 350 V2 Yeezreel from Adidas and Yeezy. I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this colorway or this sneaker, leave them down in the comments down below. I get back to everybody that leaves a comment. Aside from that, if you haven't already, leave a thumbs up on the video. Helps the video gain a little bit of traction, get some views, helps the channel grow just a little bit. And if you're brand new, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, tap little bell notification, get an alert every time I do anything on this channel. I appreciate all of you that watch the videos. I will throw these on feet and give you guys a better look at them, and that's gonna do it. Until next time, guys, I'm RJ. Peace out.
Yeah. Yeezy.